So there needs to be some agreement regarding how long a statement should last so that we can manage time in the House. So, Mr. Speaker, Business Committee takes the opportunity to remind honourable members on the guidelines to making statements in the House. Honourable members are expected to deliver statements within 15 minutes. Within 15 minutes, I find that quite a lot already. I mean, even 15 is a lot. Honourable members, excluding leaders, within 10 minutes, and 5 minutes for each member contributing. So, attached is a detailed guideline to making statements. So, the guidelines have been attached. The last page of what you have been presented today as business statement has the details of the guidelines. Let's try and live within those guidelines. Mr. Speaker, in accordance with Order 159, bills may be presented to the House for first reading. However, those of urgent nature may be taken through the various stages in a day in accordance with Order 160 and pursuant to Order 97. Papers may be laid during the week, and reports from committees may also be presented in the House for consideration. Mr. Speaker, motions may be debated in their consequential resolutions, if any, taken during the week. And once again, we continue to urge colleagues to deal with their referrals. The Business Committee once again reminds the House of the backlog of referrals pending before committees. Leadership of committees are therefore urged to prioritize and expedite consideration of the referrals and promptly report to the House during the meeting in accordance with Order 2674. Mr. Speaker, in accordance with Order 2162 and subject to Order 67, the committee submits to the House the order in which business of the House shall be taken during the week. Thank you.
Yes, honourable members, business statement ably presented by the chairman of the Business Committee. I will then open the floor for comment on the business statement. Honourable members, I repeat again, comment on the business statement. The floor is now open. Yes, Eko Asafwa.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, with respect, I would want to draw the attention of the Majority Leader to a very important issue. On the 20th of January, 2026, the Minority Leader, the Deputy Minority Leader, and my good self made an application to the Speaker of Parliament, which application was in respect to a half-hour motion to investigate into how and why in the teacher manuals that has been given to teachers across the country, it had tendencies of LGBTQ in there. Per the motion that was submitted to the Speaker of Parliament, he referred the said application to the Education Committee. Right Honourable Speaker, I am very much aware that the Business Committee's attention was drawn to this effect, and we were expecting that at least it will find expression into the Business Committee statement that the Education Committee would have to look at how and why, or if you like, investigate into why teacher manuals and curriculum for our basic schools and senior high schools had the tendencies of LGBTQ in there. And so if the Majority Leader, with respect, would want to comment on that. Because as we speak, I know that the Majority Leader himself, at least per conduct, is not interested in this, in bringing this matter to the floor. The only voice of conscience that is left is the Speaker of Parliament, and I hope that that will not be lost on us. Thank you very much.
311.
Honourable Habib.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, just to start from where my colleague ended, I think yesterday, I'll start from where he ends. Mr. Speaker, I'm starting from where he ended. Attorney General, Mr. Speaker, he ended somewhere, and that has to do with the LBGT on our curriculum. Mr. Speaker, yesterday I was at the business committee meeting, and then fortunately or unfortunately, the majority leader, who is the chairman of the business committee, was not available at the committee meeting. And then we did discuss, among other things, even the bill itself, the LBGT. The LBGTQ. I don't get it. Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Habib. Honorable Habib.
Yes.
What did you say the bill was?
Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker. I am talking about lesbians, gays, bisexual, transgender, Qs. Do you know the meaning of the Q?
Honorable Habib.
So, Mr. Speaker,
Are you?
Mr. Speaker, so,
Honorable Habib. With all due respect,
that,
are you talking about the human sexual
Mr. Speaker,
value bill or?
Mr. Speaker, it's so strange that some people are now marrying trees, and it is part of those alphabet that is being abbreviated. So that is people saying that they are getting married to a tree, and the tree has become their spouse, and that is what I'm saying, Mr. Speaker. My issue here is that the bill missing. Mr. Speaker, the committee you chair, they appear before you, but we were told that it will still find its way into our order paper. Until now, nothing is being, nothing is happening. And yesterday, the majority chief whip, who was chairing the business committee, directed the clerk that they should be able to, they should include, when I say clerk, Jethro, not the clerk to Parliament, the clerk to the business committee. And you were not present at that meeting, but Camilo was there yesterday, that the majority chief whip said they should capture that on the order paper, but it is missing again. I don't know whether Camilo deliberately refused to add the LGBTQ S and plus into the. And Mr. Speaker, on a more serious note, majority leader.
Honorable Habib, on a more serious note, we do not have such bills ever passing through the House. The bill has appropriate title, and that is what I want you to mention. I've even started drawing your attention.
Mr. Speaker,
are you talking about the human sexual
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker,
and family values bill?
Mr. Speaker,
or you are talking about a different thing?
Mr. Speaker, we are in this chamber when people are mentioning Mahama Care, but we don't have Mahama Care. And we have passed a bill to the effect that people are on their floor here saying that we are passing Mahama Care, but there's nothing like Mahama Care. Mr. Speaker, let me make my point. Mr.
So
Speaker,
you are also agreeing that there is nothing like LGBTQ bill plus.
The human sexual rights and family values bill.
Fine.
That is what I am talking about.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, majority leader, there is, I don't know if you can schedule either the Northern Regional Minister or the Minister responsible for education. There is this fire recently in the Northern region in the senior high schools, and it's always girls' dormitory. So far, 3 secondary schools, Northern School of Business, Puntamale, and my own backyard, the Tolong Senior High, the girls' dormitory, fire everywhere. So if I don't know whether it is the education minister or within the territory of the Northern region, whether it's going to be the Northern Regional Minister. So that we can.
Honorable Habib, is it not the case that you know how to do per the rules?
Mr. Speaker, not to file a question, because question may not generally be able to answer everything that is contained because of these fire issues. It might be more to what the question may answer. So that's why yesterday
it is not questions. Questions alone is not the only tool available for you under the standing orders.
Mr. Speaker, what I am discussing here was discussed as business committee. I raised it, and the chairman who was chairing the business committee said either the education minister or the regional minister can be scheduled so that they can brief the House. So what I'm saying here, those who were at the business committee meeting will bear with me that I discuss it there, that something urgent needs to be done. Because at the moment, it is very, I don't know how I'm going to describe it, that it's only girls' dormitories in our senior high school that the fire issues are happening, so that we can get the appropriate, either the education minister or the regional minister to brief us and measures that they will put to make sure that this doesn't happen. For the Tolong Senior High School in 2023-2024, the similar issue happened, and then I have to step in, and then the same facility somewhere about a week ago, then there is fire again. So, Mr. Speaker, that is the reason why I am bringing this matter, so that the chairman of the business committee can get the appropriate institution to address us on this issue. Mr. Speaker, it could be more, and more might be on its way coming. Because it started from Northern School of Business, then we think that was it. Then it moved to Tolong Senior High, we think that was it. Then it moved to Pontamale Senior High. So definitely we need proper briefing, and then we'll be able to see how we can help to stop this issue. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Kinsley Nyako.
Mr. Speaker, let me thank the leader of the House for the statement he just delivered to the House. And I'm also happy about the guidelines guiding us on how to make statements. Mr. Speaker, we made a lot of statements, and most times we don't see the end use of those statements. At times, useful statements are referred to certain appropriate committees, but we don't get the outcome of the committee's final work on those statements. So I'll plead with the leader that it shouldn't be work as usual. We need to get some benefits from the statements, not only just reading them. When statements are referred to committees, we expect the committees to get back to us or to the appropriate ministry so that we can act on them for the benefits of our society. Mr. Speaker, the second issue has to do with, I remember during the last meeting, I made a request to the leader, to the clerk, to the House, that if you look on our console, the principal documents we need for our work are captured. So you have the standing orders there, national pledge, and all that, but the Constitution is not found here. And I made a request that, if possible, we could also have the Constitution on it for ease of reference, even though we come to the chamber with the sign orders and with the Constitution. And since the sign orders is already on the console, let us also have the Constitution also on it. On that score, Mr. Speaker, I want to thank the leader of the House again, and I think I'm done. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Maxwell Lukuto.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Let me also use this opportunity to thank leader for the business statement, and also use the opportunity to wish you a happy birthday. Being a neighbor, I think it is right in place to wish you. We were just from your office to eat yake and abobitadi. Hey. And I think that, yes. But he's my neighbor. Oh, which trouble? Mr. Speaker, so on the business statement, the guidelines as stipulated by leader on statements, I thought that at a point we were restricted to only 2 pages or not more than 3. Say 15 minutes to be used for making statements, I think rather we'll make the pages more than the 2. So I thought that restricting to 2 pages would have been better than giving time of 15 minutes. Because to read for 15 minutes, I think, is much more than being restricted to 2 pages. So that I would want us to look at it rather, and if we're going to be restricted to the pages and the font size, maybe 12 or 14, then we are all guided by the number of pages we need to produce. And I think that will be better than the 15 minutes, which I think will be much more than the 2 pages that we're restricted to. On that note, I thank leader for the business statement. Thank you, Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Dr. Kabiru.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me also join my colleagues in thanking the leader of the House, leader of government business, for the statement of business for the ensuing week. Mr. Speaker, I would want to add my voice to the fact that 15 minutes is just optimal for a statement, and we have to translate that to the number of pages. We shouldn't limit it to 2 pages, and then we try to work backwards to determine the time. Reason why I say this is that we've had to and fro, back and forth with Mr. Speaker on some statements that some of us wanted to make, and being a good, in fact, religiously going by rules, I know that if it is 2 pages, you insist that it must be 2 pages. But when we work backwards and the time is given, everyone can manage the time and be able to select salient points of which to present on his statement. So I agree with the proposal by the leader of the House that 15 minutes should be 15 minutes. 15 minutes is okay, within which we can make our submission if there's any statement to be made by a member of this House. Mr. Speaker, there's another issue. I don't know how this House treats it. A statement was admitted in the last meeting of this particular House. Those statements were never read because of time, but in this business for these 2 weeks, we've not seen them even advertised. And I think that we should rather be trying to address the arrears of statement. I remember I had statements that was admitted, that was advertised in the order paper, but because of the time and the want of space in the last sitting of budget, considering the budget, I wasn't able to take the statement. But 2 weeks down the line, even with the advertised statement, I've not seen it. So I want to get direction, whether or not we don't treat the backlog before we admit new ones. If we do, how come that statement did not find expression in this particular week or the business for the ensuing week? Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Safoye.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I also want to wish you a happy birthday. Mr. Speaker, a lot of the points, let me first and foremost commend the business committee, the majority leader and his team for the work they've done. Mr. Speaker, a lot of the points I want to raise, particularly with the statement, has been made. So I won't belabor the point, except to add that, Mr. Speaker, the Standing Order 93 is clear. Mr. Speaker, I think that to adhere to all the guidelines that have been given by the business committee and the majority leader, a lot will behove on the speaker and the speaker's secretariat, so that they would help us go strictly according to the requirements and the regulations of the timelines that have been set out. Because the speaker, it lies in the bosom of the speaker to make modification to whatever statement, font size, whatever. Because the speaker, some of the times when statements are being read on the floor, you sit down and you get tired. It's as if a whole thesis is being read. But then there's a procedure for which the standing order provides that it goes through for the speaker to admit. So the assumption is that this statement was admitted by the speaker to be read on the floor. So, Mr. Speaker, in as much as members are being guidelined, I also would plead or crave on the indulgence of the speaker to also ensure that some of these guidelines are adhered from their outlet, so that members on the floor will be guided as such. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, minority leadership.
Speaker, let me join colleagues to wish you well on this auspicious day. We can disagree with you on a number of occasions, but one cannot help but appreciate your appreciation of the rules, procedure, and things many people do not know. Your sense of humor, it's legendary. Yes, I'm closer to Speaker, yes. Speaker has a wonderful sense of humor. So if you permit me...
Chief, go ahead. Don't mind the doubting Thomas. Why do you want to be a doubting Thomas?
Yes. Speaker, let me start off from page 2, item 3, referrals at committee. Leader, if you recall, I think we all lamented on the backlog of referrals, and the conclusion was not to issue the usual appeals. Leader, if you remember, you had said that we'll put out some punitive measures for committee chairs who are clearly not working on these referrals. So, but I see a repeat of an appeal. And I don't know if that is supposed to be the new state of affairs. So I commend Leader. I see a good attempt to increase the number of questions to be taken for the ensuing week. 50 questions earlier on. The proposed question, Chief, if you remember, I think it was around 30-something or 40-something. And then you had, yes, that we should push it. Now it's 50. But it's still not enough. I think we can do more because on relative terms, Speaker, I commend majority leadership. 50 questions is a good attempt. But because of the backlog, we have over 300 questions. So let's try, because we've done average 70 questions before. So let's see if we can shoot it up to 60. Because if we are not careful, for some of them, they'll be overtaken by events, and the questions may not be useful again. So that would be my first observation. I realized I'm fair here. Speaker, the majority leader was not present, so the chief whip stood instead and chaired or presided over the business committee meeting. Maybe the leader has not been briefed properly, but there was an agreement that 3 ministers we agreed at the committee, 3 ministers were scheduled to come and do briefing of the House. Chief, we are here. If I'm wrong, tell me. The clerk is there. The Minister for Foreign Affairs, the Lands Minister, and the Minister for Climate and Sustainability. All of them were scheduled by an agreement of the committee that they should come and brief the House. I can see the unseen hand operation of the majority leader. I know his hands very well. His hands are operating. The leader's hands are operating. All the 3 ministers, none of them can be found on the business statement. Why? But it was a decision of the committee. Minister for Foreign Affairs, Climate Change, Lands Minister, because of the galamsey, which you are not too comfortable to hear. Galamsey. And you are not here. Speaker, if we want to reference Order 216 of our orders, it is not in the hands of the majority leader. We respect him. We know his operations. We respect him. But he cannot so moto vary a decision of the committee. So I submit strongly that what he is presenting is not a true reflection of the meeting we held. It cannot be. So, Majority Leader, I beg you, this one is not within your power to vary it. Oh, Abba, this one, we won't agree. Are you varied it? I expect you to support him. So, Speaker, we should look at that. Then, the formless, DACF, and what is outstanding, DACF, Get Fund, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think even NHIA is also outstanding. Yes, the formless, nothing has been mentioned of it. I am aware of a few concerns by the leader of the House, but we need to put finality to it, because payments to the assemblies, yes, the finance minister was in this House when he presented the last budget, and he had indicated that 80% of District Assembly Common Fund will go to the assemblies. We support that. If we don't pass the formless early enough, the funds cannot be transferred. And Speaker, we have the constitutional mandate to pass the formless. No show. And you have told us 24-hour economy. We are yet to operate the 24-hour Economy Act. And you have told us with all seriousness that is going to happen. So, leader, take good notice. Again, Speaker, in conclusion, cost of living is going out of the roof. Cost of living, Speaker, I should have come with some food items. Yam, tomatoes, gari, plantain, going through the roof. We should be programming the exchequer to come and tell us measures. The last time before the budget was brought, he was Guy Mokola talking to the Mokola women. He should be going to Mokola now and be checking the price of tomatoes.
Honorable Whip,
it's your birthday.
Please comment on the business statement.
Speaker, today is your birthday.
Your comment should be on the business statement,
Speaker, I'm doing
not on a budget and economic policy.
Yes. So Ghanaians are watching you. Before the budget, the minister was all over Gogloshi, Mokola, talking to the women. Prices of tomatoes, yam, cocoyam, cassava is all over, gone to the roof. Are you proud of the price of cocoyam now? It's not. It's not. It's not. It's not. Speaker, I want to plead with the leader of the House. It will not be out of place if we program our friend. It is not for nothing that the Minister of Finance is one of our own. He should come. He should come and tell us measures that could be put in place. We are the people's representatives. We are the only people who can talk about this.
We've started framing a nice question. That would have been good.
We will make your birthday celebration a memorable one. That one, I want to assure, we in the minority will make your birthday celebration today a memorable one. Yes, yes.
Yes. Yes, Majority Leader and Leader of Government.
If I can conclude. Yesterday, the leader of the House appealed to us when we came under Order 64 and then Article 102. He appealed to us to abandon the application, and we did. I see your new tactics. Or you have moved all your members to one side so that the public and the cameras can focus on you and say that the numbers are more. Look at here, you have been exposed. Look at this part. You have been exposed here. Look, you are exposed. So, but you have been exposed. So, we are 30 here, 30, and you are 27. So, Speaker, our colleagues, I can see the Chief Whip. The Chief Whip has rehearsed his tactics, but it's not good enough. It's not good enough.
So, Speaker, we want to appeal to the leader. Cost of living is becoming too high. And you had come on the back of promising to reset our country. We are only reminding you your own messages. Reset agenda. Cost of living is supposed to come down. Speaker, the last time I went to Aboboshi, the market women are complaining. Teachers are complaining. Doctors are complaining. Farmers are complaining. Cocoa farmers are complaining. Even footballers are complaining. I think you have indicated that today we want to do light business. And on that note, I have a lot of items I want to speak to, but I want to respect the leader of the House, since the agreement is that we'll prosecute light business since today is Friday. But I've given heads up on the issues we expect them to function on. Who? I won't mind you. Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity. I'm grateful.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. The Proper Human and Family Values Bill, I think, is a private member's bill. So when a private member decides to introduce a bill, I think that it is for you to engage with the office of the Speaker, and if there are issues, iron out those issues, and then get all the clearances for it to be admitted. It's not government business. It's not government business. It's not my business. We have indicated that so far as we are concerned, the bill was passed. What was outstanding was for the president to sign. And the former president did not sign. It came back, and the government says that we are willing to take it and own it as a government bill. But again, that was rejected because the private members want to own it instead of the government taking it and then presenting it as a government bill. So since you indicate that you want to own it and push it, you know the various processes involved. As we continue to say, we on this side, we have no issue with anything in the bill. And the president has indicated that he is waiting 24 hours. If the bill is ready, he will sign it. So we don't have a problem. We don't have a problem. So work it out with the office of the Speaker. Fires in schools, yes, we have reports, and I know that the Minister for Education had even indicated that government had directed that allocations should be made to those schools for the construction of the hostels and the facilities that they will need. So work has been done to address that problem. But you can ask a question and the minister can come and answer it. 15 minutes statement time. I also agree that 15 minutes might be a long time, but that's what the committee agreed on. So let's live with that for now. Scaling of ministers. The ministers, when I received the draft report, when I reached out, the ministers are not likely to be in town on those dates. In all sincerity, the ministers are not likely to be in town on those dates. So I thought that it would be better to engage and make sure that they come when they are in town. And in any case, if they are available, you know, if you look at the statement, I said that statements by ministers can be made anytime during the week. So we can make provision for the ministers to come. As for the issue of cost of living, which you have raised, I don't know which market you go to. I don't know which market you go to. So I don't know which market you go to. But I know that the prices of goods and services, because of the low rate of inflation, because of the very good exchange rate relationship between the cedi and the dollar, because of the stability of the cedi, and so many other good things that this government has done. Definitely, prices cannot be going up. Cost of living cannot. In fact, we are dealing with a problem of farmers saying that food prices have come so low that they can't even recover their investments in farming. So it is inconceivable that farmers will be complaining that prices are so low for their foods, and then you will be in this chamber complaining about cost of living. But I understand, because if you are in the habit of driving Maybachs and then Rolls Royce and very expensive cars, the prices of the spare parts and the servicing of those kind of vehicles, those prices can go very high. But as for cost of living for ordinary Ghanaians who eat kenke and konkonte and then fish and etc., I think that they know that prices of food hasn't increased. If anything at all, it is decreasing, and cost of living is not a major issue in this economy. I agree with you that there are so many issues that we should work on, and we'll be working on those ones, but cost of living is not definitely. Fuel prices are coming down, which is a major trigger when it comes to cost of foodstuffs and services. Energy sector, there's so much stability there. So generally the outlook is very good. Ghanaians are very hopeful, we are very confident. Mr. Speaker, thank you very much.
Honourable members, today is Friday. I think I am inclined, after taking the leader, to draw the curtains down. So, honourable members, business statement as presented is accordingly adopted. Yes, Honourable Jerry America.
Speaker, I know that it's for the majority leader to ask for the next step, but Speaker, there's one thing I've observed. In this chamber, we've paid a lot of attention to people who are dead and gone. We come and read all tributes. I also believe fervently that today being your birthday, you should just spare me a minute or two. I've jotted something down together with my colleagues in Kitasco, as it were, to let you know that we cherish you and we love you. And so if you wouldn't mind, I know it's a difficult task for you, so this is more like a trap. If you wouldn't mind, you should admit this statement since it's just a minute. Speaker, and it is no bad statement, it's just a birthday wish. So, Speaker, if you would mind, let me just start.
Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, Minister has left. Actually, the Minister had pleaded with me for us to vary the order of business so that we can take the third reading of the 24-hour economy bill so that we can move to second consideration stage. After that, we can do the statements. The major business would have been done for the day. Then we can make the statements. I'm not against the statements being made, but let's just take out this 24-hour economy bill. Yes, 24-hour economy bill. Mr. Speaker, just that.
Yes, Honourable Habib.
Mr. Speaker, I don't know if the majority leader was saying third reading of the 24-hour. Yesterday, Mr. Speaker, clause 24 was referred to the winnowing committee. So if we have to go back to consideration stage before third reading. Right. So, I don't know, Majority Leader.
I mean, the procedure is that you attempt to do third reading, and then it will be arrested, and then a second consideration will take place. It was passed. It wasn't passed?
No. Honorable Majority Leader.
It was taken.
We deferred.
Oh, we deferred.
2 clauses.
We deferred.
So the 24-hour Economy Authority Bill 2025 was at the consideration stage. We stopped at the consideration stage because 2 clauses were deferred. So what we can do now is to bring it back to a consideration stage. So, honourable members, the 24-hour Economy Authority Bill 2025 at consideration stage. Members, we deferred clause 7. We also deferred clause 24, which is likely to have impact on clause 12. So, honourable members, we then go to clause 7. Chairman of the committee. I think on this occasion, I am right. We couldn't put a question on clause 7(4).
Mr. Speaker, you are right. Because what Mr. Speaker is saying is that we concluded on clause 12, but he's saying that 24 must have an effect on 12. That's what we are. So if you bring the report from 24, then we'll be guided by 12. But 7 and 24, there was no question put on these 2 clauses. 7 and 24 were both deferred.
So, Chairman of the committee, what's the position on clause 7(4)?
Speaker, on clause 7(4), I think the consensus was that we maintain the status quo. And I read it again, Mr. Speaker. A member of the board, other than the chief executive officer, who is absent from 3 consecutive meetings of the board without sufficient cause, ceases to be a member of the board. I so move.
So, honourable members, on that note, I'll put a question on entire clause 7. Yes, Honourable Dr. Kabiru.
Mr. Speaker, the clause 7 was deferred basically because of this current rendition. The rendition that the chairman of the committee is proposing to have. And I even remember yesterday, reference was made to other acts or bills that we have passed. And that provision that is exempting the chief executive officer wasn't part. And that was the reason why we deferred it. Mr. Speaker, I think that the chairman of the committee insisted that we should exempt the chief executive officer from being part of meetings, or he could exempt himself or absent himself for 3 consecutive sittings of the board without a just cause or without authorization. It's not, with the greatest respect, something that this House should accept to. I don't know the reasons. Maybe he would want to explain to us what other further engagement they had done, and they came to that conclusion that the current rendition should stay. Without that explanation, Mr. Speaker, how do we call on the House to vote on the same matter when consensus was built that further engagement should be done? The engagement that was done, the reason for letting it stand as it is, should be explained to us. before we can carry us along, Mr. Speaker. So the chairman of the committee would have to explain why we need to, accept the rendition as it stands now. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, chairman of the committee.
Mr. Speaker, I'm just going to repeat exactly what I said yesterday, that the chief executive officer reports to the board. The chief executive officer is a member of the board. Unless and until the chief executive officer's position is taken, it is not the number of times that he's attended or not attended board meetings that will take him off that duty. He's a chief executive officer representing the institution. So if you ask that, whether 3, 4, or 5 consecutive times, he remains the chief executive officer. And so, Mr. Speaker, I think we have belabored this point for far too long. And I think, Mr. Speaker, I should put a question.
Yes, Honorable John Dako.
Speaker, yesterday, I think the leader of the House and my own friend, Defiamepo, actually agreed with us that the chief executive position is so important that the chief executive should not be allowed to absent himself for 3 consecutive times without just cause or authorization. And so the agreement was for us to defer this provision for further engagement. But for some of the committee to come back to say that, well, the status quo should remain, then it's as if all the arguments we made yesterday came to naught. Mr. Speaker, we had a very, very genuine reason that we are dealing with a 24-hour economy authority, and the chief executive of that authority can choose to absent himself without giving reasons for 3 consecutive meetings, and there will be no consequence. We believe that we need to understand that this is no joke, and that at least the person should be made to give a reason for absenting himself. And Mr. Speaker, this was the case we made yesterday. Nothing has changed. The chairman of the committee has not engaged anybody, and then he comes back to say that the status quo should remain. I think that we should do better engagement on this. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, thank you. Mr. Speaker, I believe that this is purely a governance issue. The chief executive cannot be allowed to accept himself and then us thinking that everything is well with the board. If the chief executive in particular accepts himself 3 times for not attending a board meeting, naturally there might be something wrong. So I believe that we might have to engage properly and make sure that either we exempt the chief executive from the other members of the board, or there should be a reason attached to his absence. Because it's going to be very weird that you can have 3 board meetings without the operator, who is the chief executive, being absent. Because if you are not careful, if you have a board chairman who has problems with the chief executive, he can easily connive with other people and have 3 board meetings without the chief executive, actually leading to his sacking. So we have to be clear what we want to achieve with this particular provision, because the chief executive is the operator. So he has to be present virtually at every board meeting, unless maybe he's traveled sick or something that the board is taking a decision for his.
That is exactly the point that you are making.
Yes.
It is because they want to avoid those instances. And the fact that the chief executive is there by virtue of being the chief executive of the institution. The appointing authority is different. So there may be a situation where the chief executive has absented himself 3 times. And by this law, we are saying he's not supposed to be a member of the board. But the appointing authority can decide to keep him as the chief executive. So it means that there will be a board meeting without the chief executive. That is the reason for which we have to maintain the rendition the way it is. So if after consultation, the chairman came to a conclusion, just like the way you are saying, that the rendition should be allowed to stay, I believe that we have to take it in good faith and make progress.
Mr. Speaker, I think I support, they are asking for reasons, but I support the chairperson in all due respect, because you see, the CEO could be engaged in other equally important activities, and that shouldn't prevent the board from operating. So it would be strange for you to ask the CEO because they have absent themselves more than 3. So I support the fact that we should exclude the CEO and let the current rendition meet. Just cause I don't think a CEO will deliberately. I don't think a CEO will deliberately absent themselves from a board meeting. So the current rendition for me should stand.
Yes, Majority Leader.
I think it is important that the point that the Speaker has made should be understood in the sense that, oh please, you are sitting behind me, don't be talking, distracting me. The point that the Speaker has made should be understood. Now, a board to function well and to take decisions will usually need the support of the Chief Executive. It is usually the only reason why it is made automatic that the Chief Executive should be a member of the board for harmonious working relationship. If you introduce a clause that says that if the Chief Executive is absent 3 times, he is dismissed. He ceases to be a member of the board. He ceases to be a member of the board. But he's still the Chief Executive. How are you as a board going to function effectively without your Chief Executive sitting in the meeting and guiding you? And the person who's going to execute the decision of the board is the Chief Executive. So if you push him out because he didn't attend 3 meetings, as a board you will suffer, because the board is not the same as the office of the Chief Executive. So once you are not dismissing him as a Chief Executive and you are saying that he shouldn't be a member of the board, you will have a problem. So I think that practically we've never had a situation where there's been a move to remove a Chief Executive because he did not attend meetings. So let us live with this rendition. Let us live with this rendition because administratively it is fine. The alternative is equally good, but there's nothing wrong with this rendition. So let's make progress. Let's live with this one and then make progress.
Honourable members, I'll put a question. As many as are in favour of clause 7 standing part of the bill, say aye. Aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Clause 7 is ordered to stand part of the bill. Honourable members, the other clause is clause 24. Chairman of the committee.
Mr. Speaker, clause 24. Upon some consultations as referred by you, we have made some consultations and have come out with the following rendition for 24. Mr. Speaker, we propose to delete in line 3, responsible for finance.
Speaker, the new rendition will be, the board shall, within 30 days after the receipt of the audit report, submit an annual report to the President and the Minister covering the activities of the operations of the authority for the year to which the report relates. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Habib.
Mr. Speaker, I just want to get clarification from the chairman. Chairman, if I will get your attention, because you are saying upon further consultation. Is it consultation or the winnowing committee met and decide on it? Because the Speaker referred this to the winnowing committee, not for consultation. So I want to get that straight, whether the new rendition is
Honorable Habib.
Or...
Yesterday, when we got to this particular clause, there was the need to seek clarity with the sponsors of the bill. That was indicated clearly on the floor. So if the chairman of the committee is talking about consultation, is consultation with the sponsors of the bill as indicated.
And the winnowing committee, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, I'll put a question. Yes.
The proposed, I need a bit of clarity because 24 was tied to 12 yesterday when we had this discussion. And 12 had 12.2 said the president may in writing designate a minister. And the proposed rendition that I was proposing was minister designate. But in his proposal, he said minister. Is that by that to suggest that consequentially we will have a definition of minister in this because it will not be consistent with...
Exactly so.
Thank you.
Exactly so.
Speaker, exactly
because
so.
I'll be definition of a minister. And the minister will mean minister designated by the president. The word minister takes care of the situation. So I'll put a question.
It's a quick one. It looked like yesterday interpretation, Chairman, if I heard you right, you said minister should be deleted from the interpretation.
I asked that minister should not be deleted pending this consultation.
Okay.
I'll put a question. Those in favor of the amendment proposed to clause 24(1) by the chairman of the committee say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Clause 24(1) as amended by the chairman of the committee is ordered to stand part of the bill. Yes, chairman of the committee.
Mr. Speaker, consequentially, under 24(3) and 4, we will delete responsible for finance in both subclauses. So 24(3) will read, the minister shall, within 30 days after the receipt of the annual report, submit the report to Parliament with a statement that the minister considers necessary. Then 24(4) will now read, the board shall submit to the minister the board shall submit to the minister any other report which the minister may require in writing. I so move.
All members, this is consequential amendment. I'll put a question on both clause 24(3) and 4. Those in favor of the proposed amendment by the chairman of the committee say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Clause 24(3) and 4 as consequentially amended is ordered to stand part of the bill. I will then put a question on the entire clause 24. As many as are in favor of clause 24 in its entirety as amended standing part of the bill say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Clause 24 is ordered to stand part of the bill. Then, chairman of the committee, the impact on clause 12.
Mr. Speaker, having amended 24, it would definitely have an impact on 12. And so we move to clause 12, subclause 2. in that we would delete or any other person. 12.
Yes, honourable members, it is for the consideration of the House. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, you know, yesterday we were seeking guidance from you with regards to the same clause 12. You said we have passed clause 12. And if we have to do any amendment to clause 12, we have to come under second consideration. Second consideration, Mr. Speaker, I don't know why you give him that opportunity to do an amendment to a clause that we have.
Thank you very much. At the conclusion of the day, we indicated, and the record will bear us out, that the amendment to clause 24 will have impacts on clause 12. That is why when clause 24 was amended, I am asking the chairman, what then is the impact on clause 12? And the impact is what the chairman is indicating, and that is for the consideration of the House.
Mr. Speaker, at the point that we were making proposals to amendment in clause 24, we did indicate that it will definitely have an effect on clause 12, and we were proposing an amendment to it. But Mr. Speaker said we cannot, because when you pass through, that's not the practice. You can come back at second consideration, just make amendment to that clause, and we will carry on. Rather than that, Mr. Speaker, this is too alien to the practice of this House, that we have passed through a clause, put a vote on that clause, and we don't come back at certain consideration, and then we are coming back to it. Mr. Speaker, I don't know.
Honorable Habib, do you know why at consideration stage the rules are relaxed? Do you know why the maize is tilted? So Habib, clearly we need to understand the rudiment of the game, that certain things are at the discretion of the Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, I respect that very well. Mr.
Yes.
Speaker, you see,
so once you respect
Mr. Speaker,
that,
when you do this, you are putting us in very tight corner, because you see, people are learning the process of lawmaking, and people know that at consideration stage, when you pass a vote on a clause, you cannot visit it again until second consideration. Mr. Speaker,
that is
so
why
if you are relaxed, because people are learning the lawmaking process.
Yes. So
and we are
it's
taking
about
guidance from you.
Yes.
And yesterday the same
Honorable
clause,
Habib,
I raised that.
It's about time for people to realize that Speaker moderates, and certain things are at the discretion of the Speaker. So therefore, if we passed clause 12 and we are at clause 20, you want to bring me back to clause 12, you even know what to do in the circumstances. It can only be done by the leave of the Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, today is your birthday, but strongly, this is not the practice of this House. It has never happened that way. And if you are introducing it, fine. Today is your birthday. Let's make progress.
I have been in this House and I'm fully involved.
Let's make progress.
Involved in the passage of the law. When you do it properly, Speaker may give you the opportunity. That is if you say, Speaker, though we have passed clause 12, but by your leave, can I take you back?
And then when we get to third reading, he should arrest the process so that we'll revisit that clause. It's not a complicated exercise. We're already at third reading. So let's just do the third
reading. I believe what you said was in reference to 7 and 24.
No,
which has 12. Been corrected.
No, 12.
But I have no physician to this. Then let's go to interpretation. Yeah. I ask that they should hold on with the meaning of minister as contained in the interpretation.
Speaker, the same impact we're dealing with. Sorry. Speaker, that impact transcends not only 12, but to the interpretation.
Yes, but yesterday,
if we choose to...
there was a proposal by the other paper to delete the interpretation given to